My name is Hannah. I'm currently 28 years old and I live in Belarus. It's in Eastern Europe, and I think it's pretty fascinating. How's life here, you will ask me? Well, it's standard. I would say nothing special going on. We're kind of used to it, and we just keeping calm and just doing what we're doing. So far, we are kind of safe. Yeah. So, what else? Let's talk about my life. I lived in China for 3 years. I recently came back, like 9 months ago, almost a year. I spent 3 years in China, and 2 out of them were on the pandemic. So I kind of survived pandemic in China. And I actually went out of China because it was really, really bad. And I couldn't just bear all these quarantine measures and stuff like that. It was just too much for me. So we made this channel so I can share my crazy stories about my life. Also, before I went to live in China, I worked on a beautiful cruise ships. I traveled around like 30 countries in total, I think, if I counted properly. I worked on Carnival Cruise Lines, the one that was based in Australia, and I also worked on P&O Cruises that was based in Southampton, UK. So I think it's a pretty wild experience for a 20-year-old kid. We just made this channel so I can share some crazy stories for you. A crazy story for today is, let's think, the story of how I lost my apartment in China, the first one. So I was living in China at that time for like 6 months already. Can you pass me a pomelo, please?
Yeah, okay.
So I was living in China for like half a year at that time, and my original school, the first one I used to work in, didn't really make a lot of money. So, and the bosses were like fighting each other and stuff like that. One was paying like my bills and like my salary. Another one was like doing nothing. So at some point, the boss who was paying my bills and like paying me told another boss, you need to pay her rent this month. So keep the school running. So that boss paid for the rent. And after that, after like 2 weeks, a school just went bankrupt. They decided to go bankrupt, and the boss that didn't do anything one day told me like, you need to get the fuck out of apartment because we are paying for it, even though the previous like 6 months was paid by another boss. So that beautiful morning, I went around like 30 kilometers away from my place to work in a public school. I had a part-time job where my a situationship guy hooked up me with. So like, yeah. And I went there. The job was pretty sweet. They paid a lot of money for that. So I went to that school, like 30 kilometers away from my place. I'm like half of my classes done. I'm receiving an SMS, well, a WeChat message from the boss, was saying that I need to leave the apartment by 9. And at that day, also I had an interview with another school, also in some other different destination. So I was like, okay, I'll be out by 9, whatever. So after my classes, they finished around 3, I think. I went to do the interview. And then I went and I had to take like a taxi to my place. There was like around 16 kilometers in the evening, around like 7. I went out of subway and I had to take a taxi. But it was 30th of September, and it was like a Chinese holiday, like a golden week. There was a shit ton of people there, and Like, I couldn't get any taxi. Like, the Didi was telling me that I had to wait, like, for 2 hours or something like that. I was like, that's crazy. And, yeah. So I've been texting my friend. She was from Moscow. Been texting her. I haven't seen her for, like, 5 months at the time. She also came in China, like, straight after me, I think. Not like my friend, but a friend who I met in China. And we just met once. And we were about to meet on this we were about to meet at this like holiday. So I'm texting her like, girl, I have no place to live. Like, I need to stay somewhere. And she's like, yeah, you can come to my place. No big deal. I was like, yeah, cool, sure. So I went out of Subway trying to get a taxi. No taxis there. And like, I started walking towards my apartment, 16 kilometers. I just started walking. I was like, I'm gonna catch a taxi by hand and like, just, let's see. I mean, I'm just gonna go to the direction of my house and after 16 kilometers, hopefully I will be there. Anyway, so I was walking and then I was like, I kind of want to go to the bathroom. So I was like, I have two problems now. I have no taxi. I'm kind of thirsty and I want to go to the bathroom. So I saw a bathroom. I went there, and then I bought some milk tea on the way. So it was pretty nice. So I was standing on a traffic light. Then I saw a taxi approaching on the other side of the road. So I was like, no, that's my time to shine. So I just went. I jumped on the road. Yeah, it was a busy road, but whatever, who cares? Like, I just jumped there and like, yeah, that's all. I just jumped there and stopped the taxi. I just literally jumped in front of the taxi and I went there, went inside and I just said the name of the place where I live in Chinese. And he was like, he repeated it and I'm like, how? Like, means yes in Chinese. And like, hey, he took me home. I went there and my boss, who was paying for my apartment for 6 months, came. She helped me to pack all this shit. We packed like in maybe 2 hours or something. And he took me to my Russian friend. So this is how. And I stayed in her place for like 2 weeks rent free. Because she doesn't pay for her rent. So the school was providing her with an apartment. Anyway, if you want to hear more of my stories, you can just subscribe to the channel. I don't know what I'm doing here, but anyway, where's my boyfriend? He's very handsome. I'm eating pomelo and talking some crazy stories of my life. Okay, so anyway, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you later. Bye.